Okay, good evening everybody, and welcome to the Forsaken Cancer Open Mic episode 19, and it's raiding. July 2016's raid, it's up and it's on us, and we're about halfway through. Welcome everybody on the paddle.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, so we're a little short on regulars, obviously, from the TFC crew. Liam and Lucy obviously still away, and for today, Gadgets is celebrating his daughter's birthday, so he's not in tonight. However, we can see across the front then, Paul's in. I know Paul's from 400. I see Jeff's in as well. Imri's in. Jeffrey from My Own Alliance is here, and Brian's here. So we've got a reasonable panel. So that's good news. I can see there's plenty of people in the chat as well, so welcome everybody. What we'll do tonight, obviously, we'll cover whatever you want to cover, but I take it that's probably going to be the raid, and maybe some of the new bits in the game. And then any questions that may come up in chat as well, we'll cover those, some of those as well. So I think we'll start off with the raid, shall we? How are people getting on?
Nice raid. Simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So is anybody using anything apart from polos? So should we go there for a start, shall we?
No.
Well, I'm using one Apollo and 3 Rhinos.
Oh, good. Okay. So you built yourself a Apollo tank, yeah?
Yeah, I built a tank and I'm just using my good old Rhinos.
And what A sets or?
No, I'm doing 103s actually.
Wow! Oh, great. And that's coming off alright, is it?
Sorry?
And that's working okay for you?
Yeah. I'm done already, 80 million points, and I'm actually prepping for my alliance mates. And
Excellent.
I use no coins at all. So I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? As everybody says, almost every raid that comes along, people go, well, there's more damage. It's costing me more, or they've turned it up and that sort of stuff. I personally haven't found that myself. I started reasonably on Thursday at quite a slow rate, and actually I've watched some more people than probably I did things myself. And on Friday I had the day off, so I took it in turns to go and do one of each of the targets just to see what they were like. What do you think of the new 103, the mega hole? It's a slight adaptation, isn't it? Anybody notice the differences?
Not much.
Yeah, I mean, it looks different. There's still a lot of ships, but the target doesn't seem as large and imposing as it used to. It's still difficult, but you can drive around it just fine. Just try to make sure to not engage the outer turrets, the Basilisk-style turrets, first, because then you're taking fire from the Basilisk and all those Sentinel turrets on the inside. I think the damage on those, that feels like it was up a little bit, but that might just be because I chose Legion. And that's another thing that you need to watch out for when you're talking about damage. There's a 6 or 5% swing depending on your side and the damage that you're taking. So be wary of that, but I've found the target to be just fine.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Brian, you got a point there. Just across the board, did anybody take Forsaken?
Not I.
No.
I was going to plan for next month to get the other badge.
Yeah, so everyone here went Legion, did they?
No, I didn't.
You didn't, mate. Oh, in fact, no, you said on Tuesday show you were going to go Forsaken, mate, didn't you?
Yeah.
But your R&D's up to 30, mate, so your counter for that is fine anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't really matter.
Yeah, and I went for Legion. Do you know what? I have no idea why I did, but I did anyway. And I thought to myself, well, my R&D's up anyway, so what I'm going to lose on that? And now I've actually got all my Apollos skulled up this time, as opposed to only had one skulled last time. So all my counters are now firing at full effect. I was quite content. Does anybody pick up a pattern, a best entry point or anything?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock works best for me.
Yeah, I go in about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm
You just
I'm
smashed it,
not-
mate, didn't you?
Yeah, I just smashed it. I didn't really care, mate. I just clicked attack and attacked it.
I was speaking to an old friend of mine actually on the chat, and he went, yeah, really good raid, mate. I did it on my phone. I just pressed attack. I didn't even go and look at them. He just autoed it, and then just clicked prepare. No, in fact, he didn't. No, he just autoed it 3 times. He had he had a full set of skulled Apollos, and just went in there and went right, fix, that's it, and then just it didn't even open it up the target. So, that's how good the Apollos are doing at the moment, I must admit. So, yeah, personally, I was sort of doing 6s, and I sort of went at 9 and picked up that small turrets on the left hand side there with the three targets, the 3 turrets on it basically. And then I could go in and kill out the mega ships first, and then swing down south, take out those sentinel turrets, and then most of the reload was killing most of the scattergun turrets as well. So I had very few scattergun turrets to take out. So, which is it seemed to work better for me, I must admit. But if you're prepping for somebody, clearly the thing to leave behind, isn't it? Is the shipyard.
Was it me, or did they seem to add more ships?
Yeah, I think the ships. I did a quick count between this one and the previous raid. I think we're up on a few turrets, and we're definitely up on a few ships.
Yeah, because I just seemed to be driving around for ages, just killing ships. It was like, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of ships in there. More
do you
sentinels
not think?
too.
If you weren't, yeah, definitely sentinels. Because if you were coming in the bottom right hand corner, and then going to go up that little channel to you were going to get slammed by a hell of a lot of sentinels, weren't you? And there was plenty. That's good. So prize-wise, what's everyone collected out of interest? Everybody has got the Apollo, so I take it everyone went right flank this time, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, and content about the whole? What do you think about it? Overdue? About time?
Yeah, just because they had already started the trend of this whole new base defense style back in March when they changed the turrets up and such. I guess technically when they first introduced the Revenge, which was the previous whole raid in April. So it took them a few months to get in something that could really defend against concussive, first of all. And second of all, it has enough armor to be able to withstand a good few shots. So definitely a much needed boon to base defense.
Yeah, I agree. So for everyone who's got a base guard at the moment that's generally quite content with it, what are you thinking of dropping to put this in instead?
I'm building my first one right now, but it's just all Gales, mate, and I'm gonna drop my Aegis I've got in there, which is covered in Gales, because it dies real quick. I mean, it does the job really well, but it's just so weak. It's unreal. So I'm just gonna slap one of them bad boys right there, mate, instead.
Just to provide that cover and fire, try and stop some of those mortars coming in, yeah?
Yep.
I'm gonna get rid of my Frosty first, because that's where they can start prepping me. It takes only 2 daisies to get rid of it, and then I'm wide open to sub prep.
Yeah, and obviously good luck with daisies on these things, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It will take a few to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I must admit. Anybody that is going to build this hull, you may as well forget rockets, because they're just not going to happen. I mean, even if you go for a pinch, you're going to pinch it, and then what are you going to do? Not pinch the center island? That's the stuff you've got to make your mind up, haven't you, then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel that a base refit will be necessary, like you were showing me earlier, to fit this boat into it in a way that the base is more secure.
Yeah, I think I was thinking that, Jeff, myself. I must admit, I think the base it's getting to a stage now where the base needs to fit the hull. So this hull particularly is very good. I think you can put it on a corner. Then you can sweep all the way around, so it gets as many shots as it possibly can. Not only just using its thermal effect to stop obviously ghost crawlers, that stuff, but obviously the fact that they can get as many of those 10,200 shots that they possibly can.
Yeah, and also, you could be left with this sitting in your base in a dead base.
Yeah, so them going straight past it, you mean, like it happened into the preview.
Yeah.
But and that's what I'm saying on the corners. You got more chance of doing some damage if you can get as rather than just sitting on a straight, so they can just rush right past it. So they're able to go around the corner and follow, and hug the line. The ship's actually firing arc as well. So. Yeah, there's more potential for that, I suppose.
I think
what's the maximum range we've got on the Vanguard here?
It's 104, isn't it?
103.4, same as the Enforcer.
Yeah, the Enforcer range, isn't it? So it's pretty good.
I've got it, but I haven't even looked at the stats on it yet.
Collector.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm lazy.
No, it mirrors the Enforcer. That's the good thing about it, you know. And so does obviously the new launcher as well. It mirrors the Antipode, doesn't it? So you know, in range. So
yeah. Have you guys actually think about refitting old Enforcers with these new launchers? Because I've just did a quick look today, and if I just grab a blank Enforcer hull and just fill it up with this launcher all the way, it's 129,000 damage or something.
Problem you got with Enforcers, I mean, the damage output sounds good, but I saw one in the preview, mate, and Enforcers to Mords are like quite weak. They get killed by like the splash pretty quick. So
yeah, I did test that. I put this new weapon on an Enforcer,
you'd have to have it somewhere where it's either covered by a hell of a lot of gales, or somewhere where it's going to get a few shots off, and it's not going to get killed by splash.
It might have a weight problem as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, there's two issues there. Well, obviously the Enforcer, which is going to be loaded up with this new weapon as well, is going to be over 11,000. Or actually, you can put two of the new ships in for the same weight.
Yeah.
You know, so long as you're cautious with what you loaded up with, and as Jess was hinting at there, you know, if you use Shield Electronics, which basically does armor weight by plus 9%, and the way that the hull's maximised at the moment, we're already having 500,000 points. As soon as you put that one special on there, obviously it goes straight up over the top on it, and it's overweight before you put anything else on it. But Agility System 4 is weapon weight, so it works. It's fine.
And if you haven't got Force 3, will do.
Yeah, or just you know the standard evade from the Forsaken if you had to, but obviously ideally to get some anti-pinch as well if they do intend to use that. I just noticed in the chat there you've answered the question there, Stu, as well. People were saying about, you know, I'm having to take some stuff off my my limited tech that I've got, like gales and that sort of stuff, and move it around. Do I lose them or do I get them back? You get them back. That's a definite, because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything, even though it is limited. It'll go back into your numbers. So that's good for that. Yeah, good. Okay, so most people are getting the hull, which is not unexpected for the panel that's here, because everybody's obviously got Apollo's like, so you know, it's not quite. So Brian, we were a little chatting then in the pre-show and that sort of stuff. Just tell us about, obviously, because you're an on-coiner and that sort of stuff, and you took the Apollo the very first, you know, 3 raids ago now, isn't it? Tell us about your experience, mate.
Okay. When I first got the Apollo back then, I was a little hesitant to build it because of my connection, but I saw how strong it could be defensively. Between the first and second raids of this raid cycle, I was able to build kind of a quick build Apollo, mostly focused towards defenses with some blades and such to spot. I think I even built it with switchblades at the time just for the corrosive defense because it wasn't meant to do damage so much. I was able to take that into the second raid of the cycle and go through and have that as the lead, and with Harlock Sages for defense and countermeasures, I was able to do really well in that raid just off the 1. And since then, with the tokens that I got, I've been able to make 2 more. I've been using the standard kind of 8-blade, 2 phalanx, 4 defensive-minded kind of setup. And right now I've got 3 Apollos. They're all skulled. I skulled them in 1 BXP weekend up from nil, like in an hour. It's not that hard to rank these things. And with them now I can do 103s for a bit over an hour on repair, and I'm doing A-set targets for, you know, between 15-20 minutes, but that's spread across the ships, so it's really a lot less. They do fantastically. And you only even need 1 if you've just got 1 to lead for rhinos. Just make sure you have enough countermeasures. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and it proves a point. You know, a lot of people say you cannot get on in this game and that sort of stuff. You know, and Ryan's proof of the pudding. You know, if you listen to some people and you apply what you're being told and that sort of stuff, actually you can do well. You know, and you are effective, and you do actually get somewhere in the game.
Absolutely.
And if you're not sure where to go for builds or advice and such, there's our Facebook page, which probably a lot of you are already a member of, but there is also a website where we have a lot of builds that are frequently linked to in the page when people have questions. It's forsakencouncil.co.uk. It's being updated with more and more builds as the holes come out, as some of the best minds in the game get to working on the holes and what they come up with. It's all right there. Whatever you've got, or you can ask for a build and maybe people can help and put it in there. It's a great resource.
Yeah, I must admit, I find the more you read, and I don't mind the Prof's page, Wim's page, some of the other guys' pages. It really doesn't matter. The more you read, the more you assimilate. The more you assimilate, the more you judge your own opinions, and from that, and generally, I find that's why the player base outsmarts Kixie nearly every time. Because if you get 60,000 people, Kickstarter don't have 60,000 employees. If you have 60,000 people thinking about a ship, a hull, what can I put on it, what can I do it, the unit average is going to come up with the right answer. That's statistically what's going to happen. You will outthink the thinkers because there's so many more people thinking of different avenues. It's a judgmental thing. It always happens that way.
Well, we are pretty sure that their quality assurance department is not overstaffed.
Wow.
Not to the level of the smart-minded, and I see some proper smart-minded things on our page alone, and I scan the other pages. I do look at all the others as well, because no one's a ministry of really good ideas. It doesn't work like that. It's a community. We're one page of many, and we keep ours on track as to what our content is about. And it's for the benefit of the community and that sort of stuff. And sharing that information is definitely what's helped me. I've learned a few things. As I said on Tuesday's show, I learned a lot more about my own base because I sort of ignored it for nearly 12 months. And it was the other TFC panel members, on the Tuesday show, that actually in the after show was giving me a bit of a base 101, to be honest. Which I didn't mind in the slightest because I was so out of touch with placements. I was just randomly slamming things down in any sort of location because it really didn't interest me. But I'm taking interest in it again. Why? We're starting to get some holes to make it interesting.
Yeah.
That are worth building because the build times are lower. So that's good. So just going back to the raid then. So I've got a couple of things I've noticed on the page, and I went into obviously the dreaded Kixie forum as well, which is sometimes it's better to just slash your own wrists. But yeah. So I picked up on one of the glitches that was happening, and basically from the tiers, the weapon tier and the special tier. Sometimes people were picking from the left, but actually they were awarded the prize on the right. Did anybody notice that?
I was going for tokens and ended up with the countermeasure extender thing and didn't want that, so sent in a ticket and they fixed it for me.
So it's a token that happened to. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was in getting tokens, and then all of a sudden I ended up with the counter missile extender, and it should have been locked.
Interesting.
I hadn't been affected by it, but I've heard and seen screenshots. Didn't they mention that they fixed that or supposedly fixed it like a week ago or this past week or something like that?
Yeah, it was in the updates, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it clearly didn't.
Well,
I was just going to say that it's in the bugs, fixes, and tuning. I
Was
think
that for the raid or for the FM though?
Well, I wasn't sure. It just in general. It didn't actually say which event. That was my question on Tuesday. As to what campaign or what event is this for? The point is, it's whatever it's for. It's still happening.
I think it would have been for the raid because that's the only place where we can select and buy things like one would in a store.
When I started the raid, none of my stuff was locked.
Nothing.
So nothing. Not even the locked store was locked, and it should have been.
Wow.
Not beginning.
The only problem
Go on.
the only problem I've come across in the raid is I loaded up my base and I had 7,864 days on like a shit build, and I was like, what? So I refreshed the game and it came back like to it's like right time, but I was like, so what's all friggin' out about?
Yeah.
Go on, Paul. What you saying, mate?
Basically, with the locked tiers, I think if you've done a full tier the month before, it's already unlocked, isn't it, when you start?
Yeah.
No.
I might be wrong with that, but...
All right. Evening, Trin.
No, the first raid
I'm
it was, but then they changed it so you had to actually get a prize out of one of the tiers to unlock the next one.
Yeah, but is that all the way up 3, or is it the fact that you've already done a full tier from the months before?
From the forum post, tiers W and S are locked. To unlock tier W, obtain a prize from tier H. To unlock tier S, obtain a prize from tier W. Now, when I went in at the very start of my raid, I had the whole left side, and I started clicking up the right side, and they weren't locked. They just said I needed more points. It seems as though because you already had a prize from a tier below it, you could get it, similar to how it was, I think, in the first raid of the cycle, as opposed to the second raid where you had to buy a prize.
Yeah, well, that's the same one this one. If you look down a little lower, it says it's not good enough just to own one.
Yeah, but surely if you've got the prize on the left below it, you can take the prize above on the right. Is that correct?
I guess?
That's not the way it's supposed to work.
That's the one. Yeah, it did say no matter if you've got one in that tier, you've still got to get another one to go forward. But that's not in tier 1, 2, 3 though. That's in the tiers above. So
right.
So obviously to go up, because obviously I had the Apollo, I had to get the hull because mine were locked when I went. But obviously I didn't log on until Friday morning. So I was just viewing people doing things on Thursday night.
Well, I had the entire left side unlocked from previous raids, and therefore I was able to claim anything I want from the right side. And just for smaller people who can't get enough points, I'd like to mention that it doesn't really matter if they claim the hull or one of the specials or something from the top 3 levels. Anything will unlock the limited store, or whatever they call it now.
Well, I can't get my emission generator I unlock that, and I can't get it on a boat because it says I haven't got it, which is really irksome.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that, mate. It's showing red when you go into the build, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it shows you in the FM that you've got, in the raid, sorry, you've got it.
Yeah. I've sent a ticket in, but I've had no reply yet.
Yeah, that's really weird because I was watching the forum pages, and most people that sent a ticket in within 24 hours, they've had their resolution sorted, you know.
And I am one of Kickstarter's best friends, I believe.
Well, the longer you go on the raid, the more tickets they have too. So.
Well, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't start building until last night.
Usually they don't really answer tickets during the weekend.
Well, they've been answering. I must admit, they have been answering today, literally. So yeah, I was quite surprised. Some people got some replies back first by midday today. They were getting answers back. So.
100 coins a day, please, Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang
well,
on,
you can't build it. You can't add it, can you? So as long as because obviously, what's it roughly? Would you say the new hull's approximately somewhere between
7 days,
7 to 9 days, depending on what you want to put on it, sort of stuff?
Yeah, 7 days, 10 hours at the moment. I'm going to have to add the accelerator on later.
Wow.
I mean, all I can say is keep going, Kickstarter, all right? And it's great to see because yet again, you can. I mean, okay. We've got the 2 limited hulls, yes, we've got the Zoe's Apollo, that's a niche market hull, and yeah, we've got Harlock Citadel, but the routine stuff, where you just got a blank template and you can then just go straight on and then just build several if you wanted to. You could put, I mean you wouldn't, but you could put 5 of these in your base if you built them lightly, and you could do it in just over a month.
Yeah.
Good luck to ranking them, right, but because that wouldn't be fun, would it? Mention in the chat quickly there. What have we noticed actually going into what was really annoying with the last raid was the old boom shaky screen. It's not happening, is it?
I got it.
Have you this
raid? I still got it.
No, I've not had it. Where it blow up and the whole screen would shake everywhere.
I didn't even realize it before.
I saw mine shake when they launched missiles.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was really bad last time, but this time I haven't. I've just been getting used to it, I don't know, but I didn't think it was doing it this time. I felt like it was the same.
You might need a better graphics card.
Oh, meow.
So, there's a question in chat. Has anybody got a good idea on build of this new hull?
Oh yeah, I see that from Rum. Yeah. Hello mate, how you doing?
BP Professor just put out an article.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
saw the profs thing. That was quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah. He didn't advertise it, but it's there.
I think he put a link on our page because that's fine. He's on ours and we're on his sort of stuff. So I think he did. And if anybody's got it, you feel free to put a link to his on our page. No issues with that whatsoever because it's about sharing ideas and he's got some really good ideas as well. So yeah, makes absolute sense. So I read through. I read it myself. I must admit, I read through it and I quite like what he had to say. The build was quite sound and that sort of stuff. So
what was the build then?
Basically, he was going with a full fleet of obviously the launchers and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And some pretty standard sort of talking about try obviously shared electronics and that stuff, go for agility and those sort of things. It was quite a short sort of post because he's a busy man these days. So, but yeah, it made sense. I think it came in about 8 days. I think his build was.
So what was it?
The actual ship.
Yeah, the build.
It was the new weapon. Just a new weapon with the
Vanquisher, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it up here. He's got interception system, the new special, cryo battery, the battery from last time, and agility system.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using both batteries, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I can see that. I mean, because he's got no counters on there, is there? Is that right?
Right. He's just got
no gales or anything, is there?
No.
No, he's just got 7 of the new launchers.
Yeah.
He says the cryo battery should help slow down the vendettas coming in.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think it should help, shouldn't it? Which is not a bad thing to do, I must admit. Okie dokie. So yeah, as I said, Trent's finished up as well. Obviously, he's on 60 million, so he's doing all right, which is good news.
3 Apollos.
Good on you, mate. Well done. Change your game, isn't it?
Oh my God, man! It's a 1 coin per 103. Oh my jeez.
I've got two regular Apollos and my Zoes, and that helps.
Yeah, I've got, after all the tokens in the raid, I've got 6 days left on my Zoes.
Nice.
Are you rotating those, Jeff? Are you rotating those two Apollos with your rhinos, or are you just putting them both in and putting 3 runners behind it?
No, I'm not using rhinos. Did I say rhinos? I'm not using rhinos.
Sorry.
3 Apollos, and one of them is Zoe.
Oh right. Oh gosh. Right. Oh, well, that's pretty flash, isn't it? Eh? Flipping heck. All right. Rob.
So does that Zoe help much, mate?
Oh.
Yeah, it knocked about half an hour or so off my repair. It's not ranked yet either, so.
I've got the Zoe as well, and to me, I think it's a bit the same as just having a grease monkey on all the time.
Yeah.
That's my opinion of it. It gives you that little. It reduces your repair, particularly from the scattergun turrets, so that it was as if you're running a grease monkey all the time. That's my thought. I don't know if you would think that sort of thing, but
it kills stuff faster because you got that extra ship, but.
Yeah, you get the penetration buff as well, obviously defensive buff, but obviously you get the concussive and corrosive sort of buffs as well, don't you? So it does help a little bit there, which is good news. So I was just going to talk through quickly about the targets, obviously, and a target overview. So we know about the payout, as it said on when it came out that they were going to release that it was 2 million for killing the whole target, and then 2 million again for obviously for your bonus. It wasn't quite, was it?
No.
Yeah, they fell short, which is a bit sneaky, wasn't it? Really, to be honest.
They fell short by 1 point.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3. Yeah, I put down. I mean, I did it in the first one. In fact, somebody else commented on my thing when I did a quick. No, it wasn't me. Someone did a stream anyway from the. It was Liam. Yeah, straight from the early targets, and I think it was like 100 points or 140 points short or something like that of 4 million. So you couldn't just go and click, and then later on, once you've got through your bits and bobs, and then just pick up your shards, because you had to go and do something else to gain those extra few points, whether it be another 103 or whether it be something from the A set,
Honestly,
bit sneaky.
Honestly, I'm not going to complain. I mean, it was such an easy raid. I'm not even remotely complaining.
No, I'm not complaining, but it just made me smile. That it was just under the cusp of making it like, you know, it was. I mean, it makes no difference to get the hull because it's 4 mega hulls, 4 mega ships. That got you 15.9 million points or something like that. So it wasn't too bad. But you know, thinking back, I look at the points. So the A set was 2.69 million. So that means to do the A sets to get the hull, you'd be doing 6 sets. That's reasonable, isn't it? Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't think that was too bad. And for the guys that have got, you know, the Rhinos, not even a Punisher, but if you've got a Rhinos and maybe, you know, a Cody lead or something like that, B sets you're getting 607,000 a go. So over the 4 days, that's 25 sets. What's your thoughts on that? That's seat time, isn't it? Clearly.
Yeah.
But is it 4 targets for the B set?
Yeah. So I think it's like 60, 1, 5, and 7, something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So long as you're getting the full bonus, if you're not too high level, that is obviously, then you're doing all right, aren't you? To be honest. And then C sets, you know, if you're getting the full bonus on that, then good luck because you're gonna have a sore ass because it's 187 sets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of seat time, isn't it? Unless you're going out and autoing, you know, unless you're a really low level that has a real special niche, you know, with Apollos, and you're just going out autoing all these targets and just sending out single Apollos, you know. But that'd be a bit of a waste of time, but, you know.
Well, I haven't even looked at this, but isn't there a shortage of those C-set targets? There used to be last time.
I saw on our forum column, and our sector is absolutely stacked this time. Where so many people pour in, it's amazing. And there's a huge shortage on B sets, from what I can work out. Huge shortage. People are. I'm not saying they're arguing over them, but they're all asking, has anybody seen that? Has anybody seen that X, Y, and Z? You know, which it's, haven't heard that for a while, I must admit. So yeah, I think the shortage. I mean, there was shortage of 103s again. Sorry, the mega hull targets to start with wasn't there, but I think the cycle sort of they either up them, or it just takes a little while to get going, sort of stuff. But there was a few posts right at the start Thursday night. Like I said, I was watching.
They only spawned 1 at the beginning.
Yeah.
The first 2 hours, they only spawned 1. And then after 2 to 3 hours, they started spawning 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, at lunchtime today, UK time, I hit 4 on the same place, one after the other. So they spawned 4 in 25 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, they spawn every like 5 or 10 minutes, I think, once they die.
Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, but when they first started the raid, they only spawned 1 at a dub.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they were hard to find.
Which was it wasn't a pain for myself because I found somewhere. But
a dead sector.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I didn't even bother in our sector. It was that busy. I just went straight to a dead sector and just sat there.
Yeah.
No, 400's quiet, TSM. Stop promoting 400s. We can't open our sector bar. It's always on teal. And we never do anything, right?
Apparently so. Apparently so. Yeah, okay, so great. Okay, hull, fantastic. Good build time. Offensive and defensive, as obviously has just been mentioned in the chat as well. Then, you know, it makes a great offensive hull. It makes a fantastic defensive hull. You know, I'm talking about offensive, attacking ships coming into your base sort of stuff. And as Stu said, they're great for loading up with gales, that sort of stuff. It's going to do fantastic for that as well. So it gives you some real broad sort of you know, gameplay and that sort of stuff, and there's some great tactics to think about there. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do 2 in my base. I probably will, to be honest. One exact on each end of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
So the bit I was thinking about actually is the next bit, to be honest. So great, the hull's now below the special and below, you know, the weapon. But if you want something, that means you've got now to get 15 million points. And if you are a low level and you've only got rhinos, you are going to struggle. Apart from, you know, because a lot of people got the rhinos free, didn't they?
Not really, mate. I mean, if you've got rhinos and a pun, you can...
If you've got the pun, mate, yeah.
This bloody raid.
I think it's not as big of a problem as a lot of people are making it out to be, and the reason is, if you look at the difference in the current, let's take the Vanquisher versus the Enforcer as an example. The Vanquisher is a lot more of a better hull than the Enforcer than, for example, the Cyclone Launcher is to the 98U in terms of general weapon capabilities. In the specific terms of base defense, where you're going up against really high evade targets and or completely unreactive targets, then there's certainly a case to be made for that. And in the case of base defense in particular, then I can certainly see the point. But for pretty much all the other states of the game, the PvE things and things like that, new weapon isn't going to be so terribly much better than the second best weapon of the class, but the hull is typically going to be a lot better. And you can get your second best weapons usually in the FM, or even if it's not the second best, like the third best is fine, and now a lot of those weapons are getting a reduced build time, so the newer player can get a lot more things kind of churned out real quick, and they won't be, top shelf, but they'll be pretty good, and they'll probably be able to have a player kind of hit up that next level above what they were able to do.
Yeah, I must admit, I quite like the timely bit about the reduction in build times, particularly on the launches. I mean, okay, we're talking about obviously the latest launcher, but looking at the build time, obviously, of all the other launchers, they brought them right down. I mean, one of them only 4 hours now, and it was over a day. An interception system, a full day off of that, as we said on Wednesday's show.
See, I think it's really, really good that they're bringing down the build time on these things, but then, on the other hand, I still think it's really, really bad that they haven't brought up the base hit level up, because you can build your enforcers and stuff a lot faster. But if someone like me comes along, then no matter how many enforcers you've got, you're still going to get smashed.
Yeah, it's true. I think that these, as you were saying, and as I was trying to say in the week, the very first time they brought in co-op for a raid screwed base levels completely, because the co-op bit meant anybody that could get into the target could have the prize, because all the prep was done for you, or you'd set in a corner and someone would do all the killing for you. Because you entered first, you got it, which means the very lowest levels got the highest levels tech. So that just screwed base levels, and it didn't mean a damn thing. And now, as you said, Stu, I know you did, about it should be more probably about fleet level rather than base level now. Because it's just, whether that's fleet level based in your base against a fleet level attacking your base or something, I don't know. Computed with how many level 7 turrets or some other calculation other than just the raw base number, because I don't think that's a fair assessment anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like if you're a level 50, 60 guy, say in this raid, you think, yeah, I've got the enforcer and I've got this and this, and you build it for your base, and then you get some guy just walk through your base as if it's not even there. It's just like, so what's the point?
Love you.
Yeah, totally. And as obviously the other, as John just said in the chat there as well, the very second co-op came in, instead of 5,000 players or 3,000 players going, yeah, I've got the top hole, 60,000 players went, I want the top hole. And now they all expect the top hole. And that's made it really difficult for Kixeye, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, but we've propagated this ourselves. It's not like Kixeye's done it, we've done it ourselves.
Honestly, I don't think co-op really makes much difference, because now all you got to do is go in and prep at 103 and leave the bridge, and they can just go in and kill it.
So why didn't they put it linked to your base like they do on the campaigns, and just did that for one raid season, where they just say, right, you got to go into your base campaign target, and then you do your raid from within there.
Because
they used to do it that way.
And then there's no co-op, then, is there? No prepping and no co-op.
Yeah, but then
they were co-op though.
The people behind the lower levels would get disheartened because they're not getting all the new toys, and the game would just be an elite game of an arms race.
Yeah, Pandora's box is open. That's it now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't put the lid down now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there, to be honest, mate.
That's true.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
There used to be a time when Kickside was going very crazy about the difficulty level, and back in those days there used to be the situation that lots of people in my alliance were incapable of doing the level of targets that Kickside meant them to do, so they were helping the little ones instead, and the really big guys were helping the mediocre ones, and basically everyone was doing someone else's raid.
Well, we're doing that now. We're doing it other people's raids. Anyway.
But if they would put this back in the camping towers once again, and they would lock it down so everyone can only do their own raid and that raid only and nothing else, then people would log on, try. They will say immediately, "Oh, this is too hard." They will go away, and then it would be like a chain reaction.
Yeah, it would.
I think, now that would be that way. We had people 10 minutes after the raid started, "Can somebody prep one for me?" It's like, come on.
24 hours at least. Let me get my one done.
Yeah. I close comms. I have to say, I don't even have it open, because otherwise you just get sucked into it, don't you? And most people know me now. I'm not a selfish individual by any stretch of the imagination, but I do at that stage when I start my raid, I close the comms down and I just focus on what I've got to do. It doesn't take me very long generally.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just like it frustrates me when
Exactly.
And I have ranted at a couple of people when you've just logged in, you've said hello, and the first thing you've gone is, "Can someone do a 103 for me?"
Yeah.
Oh, what makes it worse is when they look at the leaderboards and just message you in private.
Right.
Really?
Oh yeah, they'll check the leaderboards for their sector and ask you for help.
Yeah, I really want this. I just need 3 million points. Can you come and prep this for me? So what level are you? Well, I'm such and such. No.
I do love the begging letters.
I had somebody.
I felt good this morning. I helped 250s this morning.
Oh, that's okay. It's encouragement.
You get a gold star.
I broke it.
Yeah. It's like a teacher's assistant in a classroom. Yeah.
A couple of raids ago, I had somebody come from several sectors away because they trolled the leaderboard and wanted me to help them.
Well, I think helping your alliance is a must. Anybody else is,
Yeah, I don't mind mates rates. I get that. That's the whole concept. For me, that's what being alliance is all about. Is ensuring that people that are in the alliance are worthy of staying in your alliance, and then investing in them for the future. That's the way I look at alliances.
Yeah.
Agreed. But if none of my alliance is on, I have, especially once my raid's over, I have no problem helping anybody that's lower level that generally needs some help.
That's good.
No, I'm not going to go and prep for them to where they have 50 million points for the raid, but I'm going to help them get stuff to better themselves for future raids.
Mm-hmm. Keep the game going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it this way: the ship's in the dock. It's just sitting there anyway. I can fix it for free overnight. So what's the harm of going and doing a couple of things for a couple of people? But I'm not going to go sit there and do tons for one person.
Especially at half repair.
Yeah.
As long as they're trying themselves.
Yes, mate. Yeah, Jeff. I totally agree.
Some are really trying.
Hey, don't talk about
not them.
Cheers.
Not them guys that the old raid format. They'd send one little gunboat inside the thing and just sit in a corner and let you do everything for them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I've had that.
Oh.
I've had that. And on the is it the 103s? I leave that little dot in the middle of the boat for them.
Yeah, the bridge.
That's it. I leave that.
Yeah, I either leave the bridge, and this morning I actually really impressed this level 50. I prepped it all out, and all that was left was half the dock.
Half the dock, well done. I do the shipyard, mate. Like I said, I leave that because it's out the way at the top, isn't it? So.
Right.
That's too big for me. I always hit it.
I was going to say, did you prep for anybody and they went in there with a ballistic fleet or a mortar fleet? Because they ain't going to kill that coding tower on that mega ship. They'll be there forever. It's funny.
It's worse when they send in a subfleet.
Yeah. Cobra scatter guns. Yeah.
I have a level 50 in my alliance, and I prepped the 103 for her, and it was just a bridge left, only a tiny little bit, like 10% maybe, and she went in with 4 nuclear cruisers with anti-pod launchers. It took her like 10 minutes to kill it.
Missiles are the only things that work, aren't they? That's it.
It's totally unreactive.
I felt good this raid, though, because the guy who actually is kind of like my mentor in the game, he came to my sector this raid, and I helped him get everything that he could get. That made me feel good, because he's like my mentor in this game.
A payback, yeah?
Yep.
That's good.
Good.
Well, he's an older guy, doesn't have a lot of money in coin and everything like that, and the game has changed so much, and he's a Blackwater player. He's like he's an ID's like 400K.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just slowly, because of the changes in the game, he's just like down and out about the game. And, you know, the game is easy. I've coined a lot more than him in the last couple of years. But I do everything all week long free, and I can play all week long, no coin at all.
Yeah.
You know, I put $10 in for this raid, and I still have 50-something coin, like 52 coin left.
Yeah, right.
I'll say, mate. There was someone on the page today that got a bit of a slating, and you might have seen her post and that sort of stuff. And she was like, "That, how are you guys doing this? You know, I put 2,000 coins into this raid, and I'm still not getting it. I don't get it."
Wow.
So, you know, I let her PM me and that sort of stuff, and I basically just let her PM me. She PM'd me anyway. And I said, "Look, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can fight forever and do loads of seat time, or you can fess up, like Liam always says, buy the goddamn hull off-right, and then go out and make your life a lot easier. If you're still going to intend to spend that coin, I know which route I'm going to take.
Yeah, buy the hull.
Just get the goddamn hull. You know, and obviously from the previous raid to make this right. So if you'd won the Apollo, and this lady had won the Apollo, but was just slow building them, and only had 1 by now, but then spent 2,000 coins, she said, in this raid.
Gee.
And I can't imagine, you know, and she was operating from a mobile phone. And like I just said, you know, Monster's equivalent there, you know, a friend of mine has just done all his raid for free on auto with no even going inside the targets, and he's got 4 Apollos, and he has even got armor on them. He didn't even go and look inside. He just let them auto because he was on his mobile phone. And she could have done the same. And I worked out the cost. So I did a build for her, 3 ships. And obviously you had time to obviously get your FM build tokens as well. If you would just go click coin, you had 3 ships for 2,000 points.
Yeah.
And you'd have been then doing instant uraniums for 75s, that sort of stuff, for the last 3 or 4, you know, maybe 8 weeks. You know, you'd have done the last raid as well, and you'd have done this raid as well. So if you are going to coin, be a bit smarter about it, is all I'm going to say.
I just don't understand the people that you know they've been around since before this raid cycle started, and they still say they don't have the fleets for it.
I haven't.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So I was just going to ask, has anybody had any problems in the raid? I mean, I saw a couple of people have some SOS, or they were complaining they were having SOS, that stuff, and a couple of people saying it took them a long time to log in for the game to actually start up. Anybody suffer that at all?
I've had 2 glitches, that's it.
Did it cost you anything at all? Were you in the target?
Cost me a little bit of extra damage, but apart from that, I've got no complaints. Kix has been pretty good. As far as I'm concerned, gameplay wise, a little bit of lag here and there. We expect that, but they give us a good clean start to the raid.
Well, compared to previous raids, it's been a fantastic raid for bugs, I believe, at the beginning.
Yep, it was. Totally, for the first 2 hours, it worked. The only time I noticed anything at all with the gameplay is when we get an overlap on the time zones. Normally on our Fridays, 9:30, 10:30, 11 o'clock, as the server gets buffeted by the overlap from the time zones.
When the next world comes online,
yeah, then it becomes a little bit. But if you sit back, because I'm patient, I'll wait it. But anyway, that's a different subject. But if you sit back and you wait an hour and a half, you find it'll settle down again, haven't had many problems with glitches at all.
I mean, I started my raid at about 8 o'clock 9 o'clock UK time Friday morning, because I knew the states were asleep by then. You know, and it's just numbers. Well, it's just numbers, Trent, mate. It's just numbers. So if you know, let's be honest, 75% of the players are from the US.
True.
Which is normal, mate. So if 75% of the players are sleeping, that gives the 25 people plenty of bandwidth. And I had no issues whatsoever. Not a single problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. The first night of the raid, I wanted to try to knock my raid out that night because this weekend's my son's birthday weekend, and so I tried getting on. But here in Oklahoma, we had a huge thunderstorm that night, and I tether off my phone from my internet.
Yeah.
And it was just terrible. I was spinning around in 103s and just I couldn't control at all. But it's done now.
Yeah,
that's good. So you tether off your phone for your connection?
So do I sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have AT&T.
Is it 4G?
Yeah, it's 4G. It's AT&T, and I have a Bluetooth thing that plugs into my computer tower.
Got you.
And I just tether off my cell phone.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I don't have internet or cable at my house. I don't pay for that crap.
Yeah, that's a brick thing. We do. We have fiber. Oh, I've got fiber straight into my house and that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah,
I can't tether off my phone as well when I'm running the laptop.
Oh, I.
When I'm in the bar. Not that I drink at all.
No, of course. So you got other points you want to cover the raid? Because there's a couple of things I was going to mention, but any other raid topics you want to talk about? I'll tell you what we can talk about. How pissed off are you that the torps are in the locked area? That's not wise, is it? I forgot to mention that. That's not wise. Come on, guys.
They're all R15 and they've got them already.
Yeah, we've got them already.
To the ones that don't have them, but I have them.
Because they want to refit their CUDAs and that sort of stuff, and the build times stink and that sort of stuff.
You can't load your CUDAs up with them anyway. You can only fit 2.
You can.
Yeah, you can only fit 2 on them. 3.
No, you can't. You can get 4 on there.
You just take your armour off.
Corpse on fucking on CUDAs, man.
But you can get 4.
Hey, Monster, you're a sub-expert, and how many subs you got?
Oh god.
It's got a big ghost. Don't even talk to the man.
Every sub, I've got a fleet of.
And he just goes smashing stuff, yeah. Anyway, he makes me sick, but there we go. Yeah. I'm 23 shards away from a ghost crawler. Come on, Kixie.
Also, in the lock store?
Yeah.
51.
Alright, let's get back to the torpedo in the lock store.
Yeah, go on.
August raid.
Alright. I'm glad they kept the Tiger Shark for the ones that didn't have it. You may not like this. 30 million is what everybody had to pay for the Tiger Shark.
True.
If you want it, you work for it, you beg,
and
steal,
you can't get a second
whatever
one.
you want to
can't get a second one.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. No matter what you say, you can't get a second.
Yeah, I've tried clicking on that one already.
Can I just say, well then, actually, Paul, I totally agree with you. It's a niche hull. You don't have to have it. So if you want it, go get it, but you got to pay for it. Yeah. I absolutely agree with
you.
I
mean, not being funny, this day and age, the way we all play, as on the panel, I prep out for people, you prep out for people, most of us prep out for people, blah, 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 when we're done with our raid. So it shouldn't be that much of a problem, but when you're talking top-end, lead ships, whatever it is, you should have to pay more points for it. I'm not saying pay more coin for it, more seat time, hitting more targets if you're getting a...
I think that's in the right place, isn't it? I just don't think the torpedoes are in the right place. I think they should have been reconsidered.
Torps, yeah, I agree with you there a little bit.
Two ways to look at those torps. One is, yes, we know we've got a sub-raid coming up, so those torps would help. But two, if you're not big enough to get 15 mil, then you shouldn't be pissing around with like those torps.
I understand, mate, but you've got to get 35 million points just to get one torp.
If you remember from raids before, Stuart, or Monster, The weapons we used to always in the early days. The weapons was always the first choice, wasn't it? Get the weapon first, and then the hull.
Yeah, I mean, this is
As
the
a
first
special-
raid where they put the hull down, which is
Yeah.
a good thing. You know, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. I'm just thinking that maybe the torp should have been put, I don't know, to the side or in the unlimited, you know, the unlocked area or something like that. You know, in a separate area.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been in the locked area. I agree with you with that, Mark.
Maybe if
think
they,
Same price, because they're only about 6 million anyway, weren't they?
1516.
No, but my point is, if you haven't got Tiger Sharks, then you don't need the torpedo.
Well, it's just the range, mate. The range. I mean, I see. I did the sub preview and that sort of stuff, and I must admit, like I said, I put two sticks on each of the Kudas, and I sped them up and put B's everything else, and I put the B armor on it, and then and basically I could do a target with a set of Kudas. And it was fine. And I thought it was slower. I had to go in and out a few more times. You would do with Tigers, but I could do it. But the only way I could do it is if I took off 2 of the bead torps and put on 2 of the sticks. I couldn't get in and out with the reduced amount of distance without getting smashed. You know, with the dive time and the up time with the 12-second turnaround time. Couldn't do it. Just that extra bit of range made a massive difference.
yeah, it's the range and the damage as well. Even on Sharons, especially if you have like a concussive damage bonus or something, it's just so much more damage than the B torps. Because I remember taking my Nighthawk with B torps into a 123 and just like, you know, barely watching the health go down as I turned to leave. And I'm putting sticks and interception system on my Nighthawks as we speak. So, because I didn't want to spend my entire shipyard having what would then become unranked Tiger Sharks with sticks that are probably also unfinished by the time the raid came around. So, I think they're pretty necessary, and I hope that the targets that are tuned for subs on the B set level, I guess you could say, aren't tuned such that you would need those torps to compete at a B level.
Well, they're not going to be. They're not all going to be like the ones we saw. They're going to be different sets.
Yeah.
Different levels of player. You're not going to have those torps.
You assume I have faith in Kixeye.
They generally
You
test
are
the top
mistaken.
end stuff. No, they generally do check. Yeah, that is either a set or it's a toppish target. They did say that. You know, they don't tend to worry too much about the lower end targets. They'll just use. You know, they'll be structured for the people that have got a sub now. But some people just don't have any subs at all, or may just have predators, or may just have, you know, the standard Forsaken stuff. And we know the dive times and the speed of those things. They're just not going to be able to do anything.
Now,
You know,
you've
they
touched
really
the
will.
subject there with the Forsaken stuff. It's by time they revamp that. Yes.
That's just
How
game
was-
start stuff, and it just
Yeah.
gets you going up to first 30 levels, doesn't it? There's no point even
Yeah,
looking
but
at that.
what can we do with that now?
Scrap it.
Nothing. There's nothing you can do, mate. It's not for us, is it?
No, but to be truthful, if you was actually coming into the game, just say you was a lone shark. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this game. You'd be not able to do any target on the map at the moment, more or less.
Yeah, but you're just coming
Yeah.
into the game and you're a lone shark. You shouldn't be even touching a raid.
No, there's no need to.
You should.
No,
be
no,
doing-
I'm not talking about the raid. I'm talking about the game in general.
Well,
What-
you
what
can.
What
Tier
could
1
you-
FM, you can. Yeah. I mean, in fact, Ren put out. And Ren's busy, by the way.
Yeah.
Ren put out a guide. In fact, several people have put out guides on how to start the game if you were starting today. You know, and he went through basically for the Forsaken kit, then going through Tier 1 kit, going up to Tier 2 and Tier 3 kit as well. You know, in the FM kit and that sort of stuff. And actually, there is quite a reasonable progression if you listen and you understand on what to use and what, because we all have done it before. You know, I remember I started many moons ago in Blackwater days and stuff, and I researched some stuff that I clearly didn't need to research and that sort of stuff. You know, I could have bypassed it. You know, but if you do listen and take a bit of advice from people, you know, or just go by trial and error, you still can advance. It is possible. It's just
And if you don't think you're going to have every new toy in 2 months.
Yeah,
Kingsley's
well,
never
that's-
told us that. They've never told us you've got to get everything, and you don't have to get everything.
No, that's
People
a
think
personal
they do,
choice,
though, now.
isn't it?
That's
We
cool.
just want everything because that's human nature.
Yeah.
That is personal choice from a raid, isn't it?
It's human nature, mate. They're playing on that.
I mean, I've said it before. People should just know their level in the game and stick to it.
Yeah, I agree with that, Monster. To be honest with you, I've put loads of seat time in. To be honest, and
well, we all have.
yeah.
I agree with that too. But then the lower players go on the forums and see everybody saying lower people can't get ahead because they're not coiners, and that's just they get that mentality that.
Well, Brian's sitting there that can counter that straight away because Brian doesn't coin and he's doing absolutely dandy.
Well, I just coin repairs mostly during raids, and the last year and a half I've gone from like total noob to almost 100 million.
And the Foundry and campaigns do a lot for you. If you can kill a 40, which you should be able to with Sea Wolves quite easily, you can get a Dreadnought, and it begins.
Yes.
Like that's your big break open point. You've got a good cannon hull right there that could probably go and get you tier 1. Maybe tier 2, I don't know. But you just start, it's got a lot of good, breaking in points now. You've got your campaigns. A lower level today can get a lot more tech and a lot more useful tech than a lot of us could when we started. I remember one of the first raid prizes, the first big raid prize ever ground to get was MCX, and that did work and that was great, and now it's tier 2 on the Foundry and you can put that together and do just fine with it. So
I can remember when I got my floating forts, mate. I thought they were the bee's knees, like.
Yeah, I know someone who coined the whole fleet.
Wasn't me, was it?
I think it was a relation of yours.
I think it was actually. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Well, we were in 217.
That's right. Yeah, he did as well, and then regretted it about a month later when they were outdated. Right, guys. Look, we've just turned the hour. That sort of stuff. So a couple of things we haven't covered, but we will cover in next week's midweek show, obviously with the rest of the guys from the TFC. There was a release on Friday, obviously, about the Forsaken, mega ship update and that sort of stuff, the Hyperion. So there's going to be some information about that as well. We'll talk about that, and obviously we're due for another week's update as well. I think I'll just close by saying, on the whole, thumbs up, Kixie, for this raid. Agreed?
Yeah, definitely.
Agree.
Yeah. Well done.
Okay. Yeah, I think running generally smooth. A few issues, obviously, with picking your prizes, but most people are getting those situations sorted out pretty quickly. All bar Jeff at the moment, but then again,
Can I have my generator?
He just wants his generator, and he'll be a happy boy. Okay. And the build time, tops, absolutely fantastic. I'm well impressed.
Yeah.
Keep it going, and get those damn torps in the FM for next month if you can, please. So that even if it's in tier 4, get some of those decent torps.
It's got to be tier 4.
Tier 4, chuck the torps in there.
I think we'll see them again.
It'd be good to see them in there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tier 4, and if somebody really needs them, somebody will prep something out for you anyway, if you're struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we'll wrap it up there, guys. We'll say good night all. Enjoy the rest of the raid, everybody, and we'll chat to you again, obviously, next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.